Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again. It is a Saturday night, and it is all right for fighting. No, it's all right for bitching and complaining about all things nerd and pop culture bullshit. I
Uh-huh.
am one of the two cohorts in crime. I am Kevin Pill at Voice of Reason 23 on all social media platforms, and he is Jr. Kamakungan, the
How you
Dark King,
doing? Hey,
aka DK.
it's been a minute.
What's going on, my friend?
I've been enjoying life, man. I've been good. What was it last time we talked? Last time we've had an episode
Yeah,
together was like in August. That we talked about that pre-game, and then my cousin got married. Took about a week off. Came back, was did some stuff, sold some stuff, did some other like really boring crap, right? Had to do with like just finances and shit. But other than that, man, I've been just chilling. Been hanging out. It's been like you did a podcast by yourself. Good job for that, homie. On the 10th, right?
yeah. The D23 live stream, which we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna try to do more of. I know
Yeah.
a lot of people seem to like that, and we had a lot of fun doing the live stream and getting the
Yeah.
live reactions.
Yeah.
We'll
You
kind of go over. You and I have talked on the phone since
mm-hmm.
then
Yeah. Just stuff.
about stuff and
That
about what we
stuff.
thought about um, to um, about the
Everything.
D23 presentation. So let's just kind of we'll get right into it, bro. A lot of
Oh,
stuff happened and it actually kind of affects. Oh, but check it out.
oh yeah.
Jr. has been welcomed to the family. He's got
Yeah.
the Yeti cup. That's right, logo out.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in the family for a minute, considering that I got a big ass gallon jug too. But like
Mm,
this right here, I love these things, man. These are like my
oh,
coffee
dude.
right now.
And you know what? By the way, if you guys are watching, hit us up in the comments below. Whatever you guys want to talk about. We kind of got a free flowing show today. Hit
Hmm.
us up on Twitter at PS Comics. I love the letter U. Hit the hashtag game hashtag PS Comics. I love you. Um, Real quick, local celebrity shout out Brooke Beer of KMIR,
Hmm.
giving us some love. She's looking for some new podcasts. Said PS Comics, I love you. She said she'd check it out. So Brooke, thank you so much.
Hey,
One of the local celebrities out there. She works.
yep.
She's stepping in for doing a little weather duty on KMIR, coming out of retirement
Hey, cool,
to do
cool.
it. So what's up, Brooke? Thank you so very much. And we also want to thank everyone who watched last night. My halftime and post game show for high school sports last night.
Hmm.
Some people carrying over.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
How y'all
But
doing?
yeah, going back to D23, bro, that was a lot of fun. I really
Yeah.
want to do that more. So maybe we look into New York
Yeah.
Comic Con is next week or is it? It's coming up.
It's coming up. It's coming up.
Coming up.
I was gonna say too, man. Can we stick on sports just a little bit? Because I kind of do want to rant about certain things going on. One, Tua, as well as I don't want to butcher his
Yeah,
last name, but as well as like just
really.
other stuff going involved, man. Just
Yeah.
in the
So
NBA too, specifically my Lakers. So
yeah,
what's
so the
going on with that
quarterback
shit?
for the Dolphins, Tua, and I don't
Um,
know how to say his last name, slammed
Tagovailoa.
hard by a
Yeah,
Cincinnati Bengals player last Thursday night, and
100%.
Tua had no business playing in that game. Was diagnosed with a concussion on the previous week,
Mm-hmm.
and basically seized up on the field,
Mm-hmm.
and wasn't cool.
Mm-hmm.
I know there was some backlash from his coach and whatnot, and to the point where the NFL and the NFL Players Association today made a ruling that would basically, and I know it's hindsight's 2020, but basically what happened is Tua would have never played in that game on Thursday night under
100%.
these new rules. So
100%. They just fired too. Just to let you know, the NFL Players Union terminated their neurotrauma consultant that looked into the case prior to that. There's like they found out they had no findings about like with Tua's case, and they immediately when they found out that the findings from their previous neurotrauma consultant didn't match their actual findings, yeah, they just terminated him in the last couple of hours. Um, it's just crazy, man, because I'm seeing the. Granted, it was only 3 games into the new NFL season. I'm just seeing just the growth of the Miami Dolphins comparisons that they had, like, last couple of years, man, and it's looking like Tua was in a great trajectory, man. They had
Yeah.
him. I mean, everybody had him like, on the low rung of quarterbacks, specifically in the new era, where you got the Burrows, you got everybody basically, the Burrows, the Lamar, everybody, and he's not on that list. And so I just saw him just kind of just show out the last 3 games, man, and it just sucks. It sucks to see such a bright young star coming into his own and just seeing hit with this, man. It was just that's a heartbreaker. Yeah, my thoughts are out to him, man. Hopefully he can come back from this. I don't want to see him. I really don't want to see him the rest of the season, but like, just for his own health. But if he does come
Yeah.
back, I just hope, like, he gets better protected and shit. So
Yeah, I think that's a situation where it's like, yeah, you hate to see it because the Dolphins were off to a 3-0 start.
Yep.
But yeah, they almost need to, for the sake of his future, not just as an NFL quarterback, but as a human being, they need to let him rest and get better and stuff like that. Because I mean, you basically you have a brain bruise.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, just like I said, it's not a sports show, but I know Gerald every once in a while wants to address a few things, and I think that's a very important issue. Because it does kind of, in some cases, does bleed over into pop culture, because you've had stories of guys on movie sets that have gotten concussions. It almost seems like the movie industry has better protection for their talent than sports, which deals with physicality on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, granted, like, I mean, here's the thing I will definitely say about the movie industry, in the sense of like protecting their talent. Yes, they protect their talent. They don't protect they definitely don't protect their freaking their stunt people though. 100% they don't.
Well, they do now. They've gotten a lot better. I know that there was some incidents that took place during the filming of Deadpool 2.
The actress,
the Batman.
Oh, not the Batman. I'm specifically talking about the actress who like lost her limbs, and like it was the actress that was the stuntswoman or the stunts person, the stuntswoman who filled in for, I forgot which Resident Evil movie, and then she was like her life was altered. She couldn't do anything anymore.
Yeah.
She lost limbs. She was unable to walk, all that stuff. And so you just hear those stories, man. I'm like, yo, man, y'all got to do better, bro.
Yeah, and our friend Janisha from Cathedral City, who is a stunt person for Marvel. She is Okoye's from the Dora Milaje. She is Okoye's stunt double. She's also one of the Dora Milaje. And so shout out to her. She is really championed the cause for a lot of these stunt people, and actually they are now getting recognized. They actually have a part of the Academy Awards technical awards, and I believe also for, I think the Emmys, the Golden Globes, and the Academy Awards all have technical awards, which aren't aired, unfortunately, but they all, stunt work is now being recognized as a category in a lot of the major awards ceremonies. So long overdue, because I think with this day and age, with the type of movies that we're seeing, recognizing stunt people is very, very important. And I think that Janisha is right there at the forefront. I mean, from top to bottom, there's people that do stunt work on shows like, they used to have stunt workers on like shows like How I Met Your Mother and Big Bang Theory, like, sitcoms. Now you look at shows like The Ring of Power, which I just started watching tonight. I know I'm a few weeks behind. Or She-Hulk. I love that. My goodness, forgive me for forgetting her name. The woman who plays Jennifer Walters.
Tatiana Maslany.
Tatiana Maslany has done. Maslany has done everything under the sun to show recognition to her She-Hulk stunt double.
Good.
The woman who plays basically the Hulk version on set. She's constantly posting stuff on social media, giving her credit. So I love that the actors and actresses. You see, The Rock does it all the time. He always shows love for his stuntman that he's had, the same stuntman, I think, since The Mummy. Dude rock bottom like a brand new like lifted truck a couple years ago. So really, really cool. Yeah, I agree with you. Like the stunt people need more work, and I think too. I believe that they now have. If I could be mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong in the comments below. But I'm almost positive now they have their own union, and I do believe that they have like it's basically SAG level insurance. So
Mhm.
yeah, really, really cool. Um, let's see. What else is going on? I don't know, bro. It was kind of a slow week. I mean, was there
Yeah,
was there
I
any
mean,
kind of big news? I mean,
here's the thing about this, right? And then the reason why I want to touch on sports too, not just because the Lakers are a weird a ball of of things right now, but also just like the bigger news in the sense of like just outside of comics, outside of pop culture. I mean, what happened with Ime Udoka and the Celtics, the Celtics head coach that was found out to be in a racial in a interpersonal no I guess in a relationship with somebody inside the organization. He was suspended, but there's this huge fallout from that going on Twitch by saying that, well, because the whole thing about the Celtics is that they put out a press release, or they not press release, but it was leaked that they were going to suspend him for the year and not fire him, and that he was in consensual relationships with a person inside the organization. And Twitch was on fire, basically trying to find out who that person was, who she was, because they did find out it was a woman, but they didn't know who. And so it was this whole thing, not really culture wars, but this whole thing of like trying to a witch hunt, basically, to try to find out who it was. When totally my honest opinion about that specific standard is like, yo, that's on the Celtic organization's fault. Like they should just fire both of them and be done with it, type of thing. Because it really did show a lot of like ugly shit, dude. Like it really did show a lot of ugly, like the ugly side of social media, and like yo, this should have been a private matter to begin with, and that like the hunting for an individual has nothing to do, the hunting for a woman or a person, right? It has nothing to do
yeah,
with your life. Y'all went out your way to try to destroy this woman, and not only that, but they found multiple women, right, in the Celtic organization that they thought like, oh, that must be her, and they just dragged these innocent women for just speculation, man. I'm like, yo, dude, that's just shows how we are as a society in social media, and like that's just like, yo, that's Celtics, bro. Like y'all should handle that shit secretly, or you should not you should handle that shit privately. Should just fired his ass, her ass, and just be done with it, bro. Like that should have been it. Like none of this would have gone should have gone this far. Like you suspend one of the only black coaches in the league, suspend him for a whole goddamn year. Right? And then at the end of that year, or the whole season, right? And the end of that season, you're gonna figure out if you're gonna fire him or not. Right? As like as an NBA fan, I'm like, what the hell are you doing, dude? It's like yeah, I'm like, and one, first and foremost, fuck Ime Udoka. I don't give a fuck, like if he cheated, or because he's in a long relationship too with Nia Long. But at the same time, it's like you went against company policy, right? You knew the rules. You got what's coming to you. You should have been fired, bro. That's it. Like you should have been fired, as well as the other person involved, and that should just stamped out whatever. Like that got out, man, and I was like, damn, that's where we at as a society, bro. Like in social media, we're just gonna like, like I forgot where I read this or heard this, man, but like it's basically the witch hunts all over again. We're just basically just using accusations to try to sift out people of supposed wrongdoing, and just freaking drown them via
yeah.
online, bro. Just like
We would almost we're a culture of that, and this goes to the pop culture industry, and we can kind of tie in what we're going to talk about today. And there's
yeah,
no real. It's a kind of a loose topic. It's kind of like a news and note show.
yeah,
Is we would rather be negative than be positive as a
yeah,
society. And
yeah,
this goes to, one of our main topics that we're going to talk about is obviously the logo behind us. But it's just, yeah, it's just you look at social media, people bitch more than they celebrate, and I try to
100%.
go on there and celebrate more than anything. On
Yeah.
use for example, a lot of people are just absolutely hating on She-Hulk. Is it the best outing for Marvel Studios? Probably not.
No.
Is it entertaining? I find it entertaining.
Hmm.
I've never quit on a show. I'll, if it's not good, I'll muster through it. But I still tune every week to see what's going to happen.
Hmm.
It's not completely predictable, but it's like by the end of the show, you kind of go like, that was your best effort.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try better next week.
Hmm.
I'm not one of those trolls that are going like, fuck this shit, this bullshit sucks, and CGI sucks, freaking,
Yeah.
yeah, I
I
again, I go
mean,
back to the Kevin
yeah.
Smith approach is that, yeah, I know if we bitch enough that maybe they'll change it. You look at like Sonic the Hedgehog and some of the other things that they've made changes to.
Hmm.
But at the same time, is like if you bitch enough, they'll be like, why are we making this if they're
Yeah.
just gonna bitch?
Here's the thing too. Like I need, and it's probably be a good segue into it. Is also like social media is good and bad. Internet's good and bad. The good is that we have all this information. The bad is that we have all this fucking information.
Yeah,
In the sense of like just like people's opinions think that people's opinions in a case where they think that it matters to everything.
yeah,
And case in point, man, just like I'm not a huge She-Hulk fan either of the TV show. A lot of it is very on the nose. Sure, it's not gonna just speak out to me, and that's fine. It's not gonna really speak out to me. I'm gonna have to freaking watch it just see how it relates to the MCU as a whole. But it's like it just feels weird, dude. It just feels so divided in the sense of like I can immediately see people's like political leanings just off of like basic just basic like vitriol of what they're saying, man. Like in accordance to also going back to Maslany, not to Maslany, but to the Udoka report, there is a very prominent very prominent news reporter in ESPN. I forgot her name, but she is I don't want to ruin her name, but Malik Andrews. Malik Andrews has been getting a lot of hate over the last couple of days because of just how of her presumed political views, what people are assuming, as well as just like how people how as well as how like she's how people think she's just hating on black men basically, as well as just shutting other people down. People are casting her as like some left leaning individual, right? And I see a lot of like just vitriol towards her, and like this ties into like my other point in one the Emu Dog report, as well as just like society as a whole. Like, yo, these opinions don't really fucking matter, bro.
yeah,
It's like just leave her the fuck alone. Yeah, she has some pretty bad takes, and but like she's under the age of 20. She's still in her 20s. She's relatively younger, right, than the majority of her peers that worked in that show on ESPN. And she'll grow from it, dude. It's all good. She has some dumbass takes. Yeah, they're kind of cringe here and there, but like it also leads into like I remember a couple years back they had a lot of people really hated Last of Us 2. We talked about this, right?
yeah.
Because of just how this abhorrence, like people's abhorrent stances, political stances. Oh, I don't want my character. I don't want, I want my, rough, I want my rough, country character named Joel to be part, to be head of this freaking video game, and I want to only play as him, and you play as a lesbian character who was also his perceived daughter in the show, as a trans person, and fucking people hated that. I'm like, yo, you weren't paying attention to the game, homie. You didn't play the game. You didn't pay attention to the first game either. So it's like you have a lot. I see a lot of people's political views now a lot more easily just by their stance, man. Like if you don't like the game, don't like the game. If you don't like
Yeah.
if you don't like a certain thing, you don't like it. Just don't. Like I understand what you are pushing. Basically, I understand what you're trying to sell. You're trying to sell an ideology by saying some weird shit like, "Oh man, this is some woke culture bullshit." I'm like, bro, you MAGA all the way down, bro. You red, white, and blue. Like you red, white, and blue country all the way down. You like it's so weird to see that shit. Like, dude, take your fucking political ideologies out of the situation, look it for what it is. If it's shit that way, then it's shit that way. Period. And so going back into HBO, going to Last of Us. A lot of people had a lot of shit to say about the Last of Us trailer that came out for HBO. A
Now,
lot of people had a lot
I
of
know
shit to
I
say.
haven't seen it yet, and I got a lot of stuff to catch up on.
Bro, as a fan of both the first and second game, the first game is one of my favorite games of all time. It's actually probably my favorite game of all time, just from like entirety of like story, culture, not culture, but storytelling, graphics design. Where was that? Probably my favorite game of all time. Last of Us 2, really high up there as well, and I enjoyed it for its story as well. I love that fucking trailer. I loved it. It stayed true to everything. Now there have been some people online again. They're like saying some weird shit. For me, like, why is Joel Mexican? It's like, because Pedro Pascal is one of the best actors in the world. That's why.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Pedro Pascal is one of the best actors in the world. Like, could their takes be a little bit different? Sure, man. But like for me, dude, it's been for me. It's looking like it's going in a great direction. It's looking like it's really staying true to the source material. The Last of Us trailer, man, look for HBO looks fucking amazing. I cannot wait. It comes out next year. Oh god, that looks so good. I will say, the girl who plays Ellie, Ramsey. I know her last name is Ramsey. I forgot her first name. It's gonna take me a little bit to grow on her. I feel like she's too clean in a sense. Like in a post-apocalyptic world, your face shouldn't be that pretty. In a post-apocalyptic world where all you knew is death and decay and dirt, basically, she looked way too clean for all those scenes you looked in. I'm like, okay, just like it accentuates the whole game, the whole story, the whole universe is just dirty. It's full on dirty, and so that's why I feel like that kind of needs to be brought up there. I was kind of hoping for some other fan cast to be involved, like if it wasn't Pedro, I would have loved either Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who played Negan in Walking Dead. Mind him.
Negan also, I believe,
he played
he plays
Supernatural.
Well, doesn't
he plays doesn't
he play Thomas
comedian.
Wayne? He plays the comedian. He plays comedian in The Watchmen. He also plays Thomas Wayne in Batman versus Superman.
Yep.
Dude is he's
awesome.
A pop culture legend.
Oh God, yes. I would have loved him. There's a particular scene too, and for my older Ellie, or my fan cast Ellie, there's another girl in the Walking Dead that Negan has a camaraderie named Lydia. To me, that's Ellie. Like, I'm gonna give you after this show, I'll pin you I'll text you a link. I'm like, for me, that was my Joel and Ellie, Negan and Lydia from Walking Dead. How those two played out, I'm like, dude, that's them. That's them for me. There were some other things too. Like, for you haven't played the game, obviously, so it's just
I haven't. I mean, I know a little bit about it, but not enough to have a hot take on it.
Yeah. It's one of those, like, those games. That game specifically, is one of my deeply held memories. I love that thing. If it wasn't JDM, it would probably be. People are gonna say Hugh, because of Logan, but I'll probably give it to. Oh yeah. Who's the? You've seen Game of Thrones, right?
I haven't seen. I never finished it.
Have you seen the brother of the incestuous?
Oh yeah. That's from like the first episode, isn't it?
Yeah, basically, right? The brother, right? He later down the show, he grows a scruff.
Yeah,
and he looks older. He looks wiser. That could have been him too as well. But yeah, that would have been my fan castings of like who my Ellie's and who my Joel would have been. But yeah, do that. Last of Us 2 trailer, bro. Oh, the Last of Us HBO trailer. Yeah, that looked really good.
Well, I will
It's
say that when it comes to video games, it'll probably take me a couple of years before I kind of come around to it, and I go like, "Oh, hey, I'll play that game." For those who don't know, I'm just now getting on the Jedi Fallen Order
mm-hmm.
train, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm absolutely loving it. I just got to the part where um, I go
Told
back to
you,
the
bro.
Jedi. When I go back to the Jedi Temple, I
Yep.
have to get the spoiler alert. I got to get the. I got to refind my kyber crystal.
Oh, yeah, that
Uh,
part.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm sure I still have some ways to go, but I think I'm getting nearer to the climax of the show. And I
Uh, how many times
or
have you fought Second Sister at this point? Should be two.
I think twice. Yeah.
Okay, you fought her twice.
Yeah.
Because the second time she revealed who she was to you.
Yes, I do know who she is. I won't go into that. If you haven't played the game, I'm sure most of our listeners and watchers have played the game. If you
Mm-hmm.
haven't already, you should get it. By the way, if you go on Amazon, I think you can get it for like $22, and you'll
Yep.
actually, if you have a PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 4 version is available for about $22, and
Yep.
you can actually get the PlayStation 5 version with it.
Yep.
If you're a digital customer, you can also go into PlayStation 4's PlayStation Store, download it.
Yeah.
I think it's $50, but you get the game, you get the bonus content,
Digital. Yeah.
like the add-ons and stuff like that,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and you also get the PlayStation 5
Yeah.
download.
The
So
the PS5 download should be free.
yeah,
Anyway, like I think if you buy the if you buy the digital edition for PlayStation, I'm happy that you brought this up because the digital edition there's PlayStation in some hot water for that too. I think we talked about it already, but then the PlayStation is getting hit with a huge lawsuit from the UK, if I'm correct, or for like I think the UK for like uh putting horrible prices of digital purchases on their online store. So like games that were that are less than to like $20 or like $50 on PlayStation on PSN. So
huh.
they're beginning to hit a huge lawsuit like in the billions from the UK. I think either UK or like Europe. And so yeah, it's crazy that you brought up that because that would been I'm hoping to a certain extent that does change up policy for PlayStation. And don't get me wrong, man, people are gonna say that that I'm a PlayStation pony, or whatever.
Yeah,
That I'm a huge PlayStation fan. Like no, like I don't want to pay $50 for a game that came out 10 years ago, you know, on PSN. I don't want to. I don't. I think what was the game? It was a Far Cry game or a Assassin's Creed game, right? The Odyssey, or Odyssey.
yeah.
It was like still like $50 on PlayStation, on PSN, on PlayStation Store. Well, like I can go to Target and buy for like $20 or less. And so yeah, a lot of the prices should be educated into like what the real life prices or what in store prices are right now, and like a lot of the talk behind why PlayStation does it is because like why PlayStation prices the PlayStation store differently is that we gotta house we gotta house this information in storage or in our data banks and whatever. I'm like no, bro, like you just want to still charge $50 item for way too much. And so like yeah, I'm hoping that does adjudicate PlayStation to basically like just charge correctly. That's it. I'd be good for everybody all around. I'm all for that. So
Well, let's get into one of the worst kept secrets in the room, but we have to talk about D23 real quick. We'll recap it.
yeah,
If you haven't seen the full reaction to D23, go check it out on our archives. But really, really quick, the D23 Expo was about 2-3 weeks ago in
so was.
Anaheim. Released a ton of information in regards to Marvel and Lucasfilms. Real quick, Lucasfilm unreleased. I'm sorry, unveiled some footage from Indiana Jones 4. Still no title treatment yet. We do know that this is Harrison Ford's last Indiana Jones movie. I'm sorry, it's Indiana Jones 5. I apologize.
Yeah.
They did release a trailer to the public for Mandalorian season 3. They did release a trailer to the audience for Ahsoka. They also released a trailer for the new Star Wars shorts called Jedi Tales, which I believe comes out in about 2 weeks.
Yep.
They released a trailer for Bad Batch season 3, and something else. So season 3 of Bad Batch comes out, I believe, in January or February. We get Jedi Tales coming out later on this month.
Vision season 2. I think that was announced as well. Visions season 2.
They had already they had announced that prior. They had announced that before. I think they announced that at Celebrations actually. The other thing was they showed footage from the show Skeleton Crew. Gave a little bit more information about what that is. And Skeleton Crew basically is it takes place in the Star Wars universe, but is not directly connected to the main saga. It is actually one of the first shows that has nothing to do with the main saga. So like The Mandalorian and Ahsoka is connected to the Skywalker saga. But the Skeleton Crew takes place in the galaxy far, far away, but takes way out in the space. It was described as Goonies meets Star Wars. And what it is that it's a group of people who have heard of the Galactic Civil War, but are not directly involved, and they're just going on these adventures. And it's my God, what's his name? The guy that played the villain in Captain Marvel.
Jude Law.
Jude Law is the lead. He is the kind of the he's kind of the Josh Brolin, so to speak, of the Goonies. He is of this group, and it's him and a bunch of kids, and they just go on these adventures. And it looks like it's going to be pretty fun. That's going to come out next year. Really looking forward to the shorts, the Jedi Tales shorts, because it will actually explain how and why more than Clone Wars did. It will explain how and why Anakin took on Ahsoka as his Padawan. It actually will also explain Ahsoka's backstory, from all the way from when she was a true youngling, from when she was a child. It also will explain the Padawan master relationship between Qui-Gon Jinn and Count Dooku, or actually,
it should be Count Dooku.
Well, yeah,
no. Is it Count Dooku and Yoda?
No, it's Count Dooku. Well, Yoda's in it.
Yeah.
But Yoda's the female Yoda that's on the council. Yodel, or there's a female Yoda that's on the Jedi Council. You see her in the Jedi's council scenes in back of the prequels, but she does appear in the trailer for Tales of a Jedi. But no, people don't realize is that people ask, okay, so Ahsoka was Anakin's Padawan.
Yeah.
Anakin was Obi-Wan's Padawan. Obi-Wan was Qui-Gon Jinn's Padawan.
Yep.
Who was Qui-Gon's master? And it is
Dooku?
It's Count Dooku. Count Dooku was the Jedi master to Qui-Gon's Padawan. He was the Padawan to him, but he had a Jedi name before he was Count Dooku. Now I can't remember what it is. It's Darth Tyrannus. No, that's not. I can't remember what it is.
Okay,
but no, they showed, and the trailer for that looks really good. It looks good. Liam Neeson is back playing the voice of Qui-Gon Jinn too, by the way, and Ashley Eckstein is back playing the voice of Ahsoka Tano. There is still a rumor going around that we could get flashback scenes to in Ahsoka, the TV show, the live action show. We could get flashback scenes showing Ahsoka as a youngling, and it would be Ashley Eckstein playing And people are going, wait a minute, Ashley Eckstein's a white blonde-haired girl. Rosario
mean,
Dawson's a dark skin is a dark-haired African American woman.
and
How are
yet,
you going to do it?
uh,
Magic, baby.
I mean,
Come.
hello, what the hell?
Yeah. Tell me
on
you
now.
wouldn't give a shit. I mean,
It's Ashley. What the hell?
yeah,
No,
you
I would
have
not
to.
give a shit.
Ashley deserves an opportunity one time to portray that character live action. She deserves it. I absolutely love Clone Wars. I kind of put a pause on it a little bit to catch up on some other stuff.
Yeah,
But I'm about halfway through season 1.
Here's the thing as well. People are forgetting she's a Twi'lek, and Twi'lek's colors, they range differently.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I mean, we have Twi'leks who are just ruby red as well. And I think, and Ahsoka, she's like either a darker peach or a lighter peach. Forgot what. And if everyone who's seen Rosario Dawson, yeah, she's caramel skin. She's a beautiful caramel skin, and yeah, they obviously painted her skin. So no shit, you can have Ashley freaking play Ahsoka. What the hell?
Tell me, come on, this is not the face of a black woman. Yeah. This is the face of
a Twi'lek of a Twi'lek who's raised as a child to be a fucking warrior for the Jedi Temple.
Greatest.
That's the face.
Could call it right now. Greatest Star Wars character. You know you want to.
I do. I 100% do.
JR. I've never seen JR fanboy over anything. He borders on fangirling over Ahsoka.
100%. 100%. I fell in love with her a long fucking time ago. Like, and
I want those fucking rebel blades. Oh, I want those rebel.
Like here, like, so the topic of like who's the best character for Star Wars is going to be a tough one. People are just either gonna go with either Darth or for Luke. And granted, both of those characters haven't been really fleshed out until like not even the comics. Honestly, like if you go the expanded universe EU, that's when you get a little bit more better of like old man Luke, or like Luke being a master, and like as well as like his interpersonal relationships with his children. But of course,
Don't get started. Don't get JR started.
Disney doesn't want that. Disney doesn't want our, or not Disney, but Luke, George doesn't want, our savior of the galaxy to have kids or to get some. So I get that point, but like, it's tough. It is really, really tough because I want to say Ahsoka, but I still kind of give it to Jaina. Jaina's really freaking great. Luke, EU Luke, old man EU Master Jedi Luke is a tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough. And so Darth has really came up in the last couple of years because of Marvel. Like Marvel, what they've done in the comics for Darth Vader is what in the last 10 years or so has showed why he's one scary motherfucker. And yeah, there's also a bunch of the other side characters involved. I mean, top 10, man. Top 10 best characters of Star Wars, man. It's a great fucking list. It's a great list. I will say Ahsoka. I do want to put Ahsoka at the top, though. I will give you that because she's a mainstay. She really envisions what it means to be a Ronin in the Star Wars universe, as was they're supposed to be, a Jedi without a master, and I want to put her at number 1, 100%. People are gonna say Luke. I understand why you're gonna put Luke. People are gonna say put Darth. I understand why you put Darth, but like, with the context of story and how it's grown the last 20 years now, just can't put over Ahsoka. I really can't. But yeah, here we are.
Yeah, we will. By the way, we're going to do a Star Wars episode probably coming up here closer to Christmas as we get closer to Ahsoka and Mandalorian season 3. And
can I give a hot take real quick?
Whoa.
Thrawn's better than all of them.
I was waiting for you to say Grand Admiral Thrawn.
Thrawn is as a character probably is above Luke and Darth.
Yeah, and Thrawn is supposedly going to make his cinematic debut, or whatever we're going to call it, a live action debut,
Mhm.
in Ahsoka because we saw him referenced or heard him referenced
Yep.
in Mandalorian season 2 when Ahsoka um, made her live action debut in
Mhm.
the Mandalorian series. So
Yeah.
can't wait to see that. Ahsoka is no release date. I think was given no official release date was given, but I believe we're looking at Ahsoka sometime in February. Mandalorian season 3 sometime in the spring.
Yeah.
Marvel's got a very busy schedule on both
100%.
in both the theaters um and
Disney Plus.
on Disney Plus. So speaking of which, get right into Marvel real quick for D23. No big news was announced in regards to the Fantastic Four or Deadpool. But we did get information about Secret Invasion and got to see an absolute sick trailer.
Yeah.
Again, go check it out.
That's great.
Very Born Identity kind of Tinker Tailor Soldier
Soldier.
Spy.
Yeah.
Very, very dark trailer. We do know that it was going to directly affect the movie the TV show at the time, Armor Wars, which has now been turned into a movie, as JR is calling it, Iron Man 4.
Mm-hmm.
Armor Wars is probably in the top 5 best written storylines in Iron Man comics. Number 1 is still always going to be Demon in a Bottle. But those were really kind of very close to each one another. I think they were within like a year of one another in comic book writing. So really interested to see if they stay close to the storylines. But I think the seeds have already been laid. We saw references to Trouble at Stark Industries in Spider-Man No Way Home. We also, I think, kind of got what could be construed as kind of a reference in in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, maybe in WandaVision, but I think the big kind of a teaser was the No Way Home reference with Happy Hogan needing a good lawyer.
Yeah.
And then of course the deleted scenes that didn't make the movie also kind of really help explain that's what's going on. So
Yeah.
for those who don't know, the theory behind Armor Wars is someone is stealing Stark tech and selling it on the black market, and it looks like an inside job. But and it will star Don Cheadle as Lieutenant Colonel James Rhodes. We are to assume that it will be announced in Secret Invasion that actually James Rhodes, much like his comic book counterpart of Colonel James Rhodes, he's actually the Secretary of Defense. That was announced. That was I think, heavily talked about in Civil War II. So some people were saying that maybe James Rhodes was going to be the president, but I think that role has gone to somebody else. And I think it is more fitting that James Rhodes actually is the SecDef. Just based on his relation to the military in this entire MCU. So other stuff that was announced at D23, Marvel wise, Loki season 2. Goodness gracious, the Marvels and a bunch of other stuff. But
homie, come on now.
Let's talk about something that's coming out this week on Disney Plus.
Thank you.
Could be the dark horse of that convention. Could be one of the greatest movie trailers of all time. We're talking about the Supernatural is coming full force to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Move over, Daywalkers. We're talking about Werewolf by Night. It will be hitting Disney Plus next Friday. I guess would be this coming Friday. I think it's the 7th. Oh my gosh, that trailer looks
dude,
sick.
Oh my god. I just watched an interview with the director, for guy's name. His name's escapes me at the moment. But like he said, is going to be said that it's going to be the goriest or bloodiest MCU movie ever. And so, like, granted, it's not that high of a bar. Granted, even though, like, I will say, Doctor Strange 2 was pretty gory in that sense.
Yeah.
But like, Like he's talking about like, no, there's gonna be a lot of gore. There's gonna be a lot of blood.
Multiverse of Madness really pushed the envelope on violence.
Yeah.
She-Hulk has started to push the envelope a little bit with the cursing and the sexual innuendos and just sex in general.
Yeah.
So I think they're setting themselves up for stuff like Werewolf by Night, Blade, Deadpool 3, which we'll get to in just a second. But
I mean, it's going to be interesting because are we going to see, because we just heard news too, we're going to transition, not going to put in this point too, that Blade's been pushed back to 2023.
Yes, they lost their lost their director.
Yeah.
Mahershala Ali is still on board.
Still Blade. He's not going anywhere.
I think that the story came out that Blade, Mahershala Ali's Blade, is actually going to be they went as far, they went right up to the point without saying he's a variant by saying he's a variant. This could either be one of two things. He's a variant and that we're going to see a younger version of Blade that's in the main MCU, or Mahershala Ali's Blade is not the main Blade. Now, JR, you know more about this character. What is the actual name of the character Blade?
That's the thing. I forgot because the reason why I put Blade into this is because, for those who don't know, Blade's first appearance was in Werewolf by Night. What issue was it?
Was Blade first appearance of Werewolf by Night as well? Because remember, Moon Knight is in.
Oh no, Moon Knight is in Werewolf by Night. That's right. But Blade was in Werewolf by Night fighting werewolves.
Oh, I don't doubt it one bit.
Yeah. So like, the reason why I transitioned to Blade is that I think we might have an appearance finally of Mahershala Ali as Blade, possibly in Werewolf by Night. How is that going to translate? I don't know. Like, it's because the original trailer, or the trailers put up for Werewolf by Night, looks like, like an OG slasher, not really slasher, but like OG, like monster film,
old school, like almost
black and white
Universal monsters, but very close Universal monsters.
And so it's like, that looks really cool. But going back on the Blade, though, I forgot originally his last name. I will say this though, Mahershala Ali right now playing Blade is going to be older than oh my gosh, I forgot the original actor's name who played Blade.
Wesley Snipes.
He'll be older than when Wesley played Blade the first time. Mahershal's 50.
Eric Brooks. Eric Brooks is the character's name.
There you go.
The story that I've read is that Mahershala Ali is playing a different Daywalker. He's not Eric Brooks, and that he's a older Daywalker. And is either come back in time. There's a bunch of stories. This is why rumors, like, just let it fucking play out. Like, that's why I'm started jump on the JR bandwagon and just like not read spoilers and rumors and stuff like that, because 100%. It just gets too freaking confusing. I'm just down for Mahershala Ali. I think with the multiverse, I would love to see Wesley Snipes come back and play the character one more time, even in, like I said, in just a cameo role. I think it would further connect you want to solidify the multiverse. Wesley Snipes needs to be in this movie. Yeah, bar none. I will. There's no argument. I find a way to make it happen. Yeah, you made it happen with Spider-Man, and you're gonna make it happen with Deadpool. Yeah. So
you gotta have
Wesley Snipes has to be in this movie.
You have to have him there. And not only that, but you also need to put Deadpool in. You put Deadpool in.
Could this be?
You have to put him in there. You have to. You have to put Ryan Reynolds in it.
Ryan Reynolds is the GOAT. Before we get into the main, first off, Fantastic Four and Deadpool was not announced or the Mutants was not talked about at D23. And Kevin Feige gave a really, really, I think, a spot on explanation as to why Fantastic Four did not have a main announcement. Number one, they formally announced the director at D23. We knew about it for a while. We knew that the guy who had done the Spider-Man movies backed out, and the new director was the guy who directed WandaVision, I believe.
Oh yeah, it's yeah.
And so he got announced, and Kevin Feige goes, "It would be unfair for us to make any other announcement about this movie shortly after formally signing this guy as the director, because the director does have some say in the casting." The other thing too is Kevin Feige made a great point, is this movie's not coming out to 2024, and that there is multiple other options for them to make a Fantastic Four announcement. Number one is they will have 2 San Diego Comic-Cons before now and then, and they'll have another D23 between now and then. So there will be an announcement made, and they got plenty of time.
Yeah.
So if you want to go check it out, D23 on our YouTube channel, and you get completely caught up, or you can stream it on our audio formats. But let's get into one of the other topics at hand. We talked about Blade already. Let's talk about one of the other characters that did not get announced at D23, and that is my good buddy Wade W. Wilson from Regina, Saskatchewan, aka Deadpool, aka the Merc with the Mouth, aka shut the fuck up, boy. Ryan Reynolds was born to play this freaking role, by the way.
Here's the thing I love about Ryan Reynolds. Out of all the actors who just play themselves in the world, Ryan Reynolds just needs to play Ryan Reynolds all the time. That's all he needs to do. Like, legit. Like, how many actors just play themselves that we can count on one hand?
It's just Ryan. I mean, Ryan Reynolds.
The Rock. He plays himself.
The Rock is The Rock. Yeah, The Rock. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. The line was blurred a long time ago.
Will Smith. He plays himself.
Yeah.
Who else?
But when it comes to that, Ryan Reynolds and The Rock, they're in a class by themselves of playing themselves.
Yeah, I will say this too. I feel like the last couple of years, Leonardo DiCaprio plays himself a lot now. But granted, like, he plays that very sophisticated, established actor role a lot.
Yeah.
So Leo's in there as well. But yeah, out of all the people who play themselves, like, he's my favorite, dude. Like, he is the guy I want to play himself all the time.
If Wesley Snipes plays Blade again in Blade, like JR mentioned, that unlocks the multiverse, and that unlocks the fact that Ryan Reynolds played a character in Blade. He was in Blade Trinity.
Yeah.
And he played the character of, I'll get it right here. Bear with me. So he plays Ryan Reynolds plays Hannibal King.
That's right.
Okay, so he plays Deadpool in the X universe. He plays himself again, or he plays Wade Wilson in X-Men Origins Wolverine.
Yeah.
That is retconned with the events of Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
So kind of, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
He does go back in time and kills himself in the end of Deadpool 2.
Yeah.
And then goes back in time and actually kills himself, kills Ryan Reynolds before he could take the role of Green Lantern. So here's the deal. Ryan Reynolds has an opportunity to play not one, not two, not three, but 4 different characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He will play the main Deadpool that we all know and love
Yeah.
from the Duke Deadpool movies. He will also play Wade Wilson in X-Men Origins Wolverine. He will
Mhm.
also play himself, Ryan Reynolds, in Deadpool 2. And like I said, plays Hannibal King in Blade Trinity if they make Wesley Snipes a multiversal
Yeah.
variant or
Yeah.
whatever. So I think that's how freaking Deadpool would that be?
I mean,
It's
you just give them everything. You just give whatever the hell they want to Deadpool at this point, man. Like, as long as they're having fun with, that's the biggest thing. As long as they're having fun with it, as long as they are, not trying to ham hock a lot of stuff into one thing. That's one of my biggest pet peeves of Deadpool 2 is that they try to do a lot because like the
yeah,
whole growth of like, oh, you got so much money now, just do whatever the hell you want with it. There was no focus goal on that, and so. I'm hoping they would really hope. I'm hoping they would, take more of like the stride they did in Deadpool 1, which is very much in your face, like a lot of like just weird, weird references and just that initial like Merc with a mouth, dude. That's what we need. I would love to see a little more serious Deadpool though. Like the Deadpool that I do love is the more, I guess, uh, I guess the more recent iterations of Deadpool, right? In the comics, I would probably I forget his name specifically, but it was the Dugans Deadpool, the one where he was still Merc with the mouth, but like he knew the tragedy of his life type of stuff. Like he looks at the reader and goes, yeah, I can never be happy because you're here.
yeah.
Like I can't be with my kids because you need me to be sad, and like Marvel needs me to be sad, and so yeah, I like that was my favorite Deadpool. I was hoping to have a little bit of that Deadpool, but hey, like fun, goofy times with Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds. I'm cool with that too.
So let's talk about that. We don't get an announcement of Deadpool 3
Mhm.
at D23,
Yep.
but we do get a kind of like a very Deadpool esque announcement on YouTube
Yeah.
just a couple of days ago, announcing that there will be a Deadpool 3. It will be coming out on September 6th, 2024. And he convinces, after all is said and done, he convinces freaking
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman to come out of retirement and play Logan one more time. So
Yeah.
what's funny was when I saw the trailer, the teaser, I actually thought it was Josh Brolin, and I was like, oh shit, we're gonna get Cable in the MCU.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, they made Deadpool or they made Thanos references all
Yeah.
through Deadpool 2, which was great.
Yeah.
But they're straight up. They're gonna have Thanos and Cable in the same universe.
I mean, we still might have Cable going in. Like, who
Yeah,
knows? Josh Brolin might
yeah.
come and be like.
He
There's
was a
a
great character, by the way.
Yeah, he was a good character. I'm hoping Hope Summers would be somewhat in there, type of thing too. I forgot exactly the daughter that he was looking for in Deadpool 2, man. But his daughter his daughter in comics is Hope Summers. So there you go.
Yeah, they don't say Hope Summers, but they
Reference his daughter. That was
they do reference. I do believe the character's name. I think the character's name in
in the movie was Hope.
in the movie was Hope.
Okay,
I could
so
be wrong.
okay, so if that's the case, then great. Like all it has to do about the timing, right? Like they gave us a date, right? Like 2024. Was it? Was 2024?
September 6th, 2024.
Okay, yeah, September 6th, 2024. That means initial shooting will start probably next year.
Absolutely.
And then all that production stuff. They put out another video giving a huge thanks to Kevin Feige for all their stuff. Yeah, dude, like just throw money at them, let them do whatever the hell they want. I wonder how it's gonna really tie into the entirety of the MCU. It's just gonna be a one-off. Is it gonna be Old Man Logan with Deadpool? Because
no, they do explain that, by the way.
yeah, they did
Which,
explain like the
but
ending
it
of
wouldn't be
Logan is his own thing.
Yeah, well, they did say that, and let's explain it real quick.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be too far off, too, by the way, because the events of all the X-Men movies takes place in the early 2000s. I mean, even like Logan, X-Men Wolverine, X-Men Origins Wolverine takes place like in it's like early 2000, like the not even the 2000 teens. You have to take into consideration, and they say this in the teaser trailer, is that Old Man Logan Logan, the movie Logan, takes place in
Yeah.
2029.
That's right.
The current MCU timeline, the current MCU year is 2025.
Yeah.
Might even be 2026. So Logan might not be that far off from Old Man Logan status, but
Mhm.
people are going like, wait a minute, Logan's dead, but it took place in the future. And it's also too,
Eh.
it's in a different universe.
Yeah.
So we don't know what version of Logan we're going to get. We could get a Wolverine that Deadpool brings in from the past and he gets sucked in, a la Thanos. Because remember, the Thanos the Thanos that was killed by Tony Stark in Avengers Endgame, which was in 2025, was from
15. No.
2015. Or
Yeah. It
whatever.
doesn't.
Yeah,
It was the Thanos that was. It was after.
it was Thanos before Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, it was during Guardians. Yeah, it was during
It was
Guardians.
during Guardians of the Galaxy. So you're looking
Yeah.
at 2013. So you're dealing with
Was it 2013?
yeah, it would have been 2013. So
Okay.
you're dealing with a Thanos that's almost 10. Well, no, at that point, no, it would have been almost 12 years older, 12 years behind this calendar, behind the
Yeah.
year. So, you're talking about those X-Men timelines were confusing.
Yeah, you know,
Jesus.
it's gonna be different. Like we're just gonna have to wait it out and see because like a lot of like the timeline chronological stuff is not gonna make sense because like that's the biggest thing. Like when you're doing multiverses, when you're dealing with different universes, they all are never gonna add up, quote unquote. And so like we'll see how this really comes out. If they're gonna do a full on thinning of the multiverse, like they did with DC, which I feel like DC did probably one of the better version of it with like having to put the all the different universes a to canonize it in one mainline form. I feel like we talked about before, Crisis on Infinite Earth for DC, even though it was
Was
a TV, it
the
was a really
TV show was
TV
amazing.
show. It was a good show. It was like a really good way to encapsulate. Hey, all these are canon, basically, right? They all live in their own multiverse,
Yeah.
and so that was the better way to do it. And we're just gonna have to see how Marvel is gonna handle the multiverse type of problem because it's looking like it's gonna take possibly the damn near decade for them to do.
And they are, and that's why we're dealing with the multiverse saga right now, and
Yeah,
that is going to go through. Um, I think they're going to go through at least phase. We're in phase 4 right now. It's guaranteed to go through phase 5 and 6. I think this is the way, and I've talked to a couple other friends about this. Is I honestly think that why we haven't got any information about the X-Men is I think they're going to let it play out. Mind you, right now on screen we only have 2 mutants.
yeah.
Professor Charles Xavier of the multiverse, the Illuminati, and Kamala Khan are the only 2 confirmed mutants.
I thought they confirmed another one just this week. I swear they confirmed another one this week.
Well, we're gonna get, obviously we're gonna get Wade Wilson, and we're gonna get Logan. We're gonna get Wolverine and Deadpool.
Yeah,
So those are confirmed to be coming.
yeah. No,
But the
like full on
only one,
MC, no full on MCU ones were
well, I
released.
know that they've teased that Wanda had latent mutant genes, and that the Mind Stone unlocked them. That's why they
Yeah,
think that the radiation from Thanos snapping the gauntlet unlocks the mutant gene, almost like a Terrigen mist. But well, again, we're waiting to see. So the
yeah,
theory going around is that we're going to get the multiverse saga is going to go through phase 6 and maybe even through phase 7, and that after that, after the multiverse saga is wrapped up with Avengers Kang Dynasty, which I believe is being directed by the director of Shang-Chi, correct?
Yeah.
And that Secret Wars, as much as they would love for the Russos to come back, it sounds like they're not going to, and that the rumor going around right now for Secret Wars is it's going to be Ryan Coogler. So we'll wait and see what happens like that. That would be a big coup for the Black Panther director, but we'll also have to wait and see because he's also working on an Okoye origin story,
Yep.
and also a Wakanda Disney Plus special. And we'll see what else Wakanda Forever spurns. I also know that he's exec producing on Ironheart.
Yep, Riri's show.
And
Riri has also been rumored to come now to be possibly coming to the Iron Wars movie.
To Armor Wars,
to Armor Wars movie. That was going to possibly happen. And so,
by the way,
a lot of stuff.
They are keeping it close to their chest. We're not answering these questions. Keeping it very close to their chest is Kevin Feige kept talking about how he was going to be very comic accurate to Riri and her story. Does that mean we are going to get a specific artificial intelligence? And they are keeping that very close to their chest because allegedly Robert Downey Jr. has signed a new Marvel contract. And we'll see. He doesn't have to do anything. He can just do voiceovers. Yeah. But hearing the quippy Tony Stark done by Robert Downey Jr. quipping with Riri Williams is because in the comic books, Riri is kind of a smartass.
Kind of smartass. She's a big ass smart. Of
course, she's a big ass smartass.
Yeah, it is.
And I really hope too that in a sense that I hope they kind of bring Gwyneth Paltrow back a little bit because people don't realize that hear me out. I'm a Riri fan. Now I read the books.
Yeah.
Is in the absence of Tony Stark, Pepper Potts runs Stark Industries. Now we know that Pepper Potts ran Stark Industries for a short while during the events of Iron Man 2, and then of course relinquishes it. But that the events of in the comic books and the post Civil War 2, Pepper Potts retakes over Stark Industries after it is purchased back from Parker Industries. When Stark Industries is purchased back, and Tony is he's not dead, but he's cryogenically frozen.
Yeah.
Pepper Potts retakes over and actually brings in Riri Williams to be, quote, the Iron Man for Stark Industries because they are actually thinking about suing Riri for stealing intellectual property, in that she's created the Iron Man or the Iron Heart suit. So go back. By the way, if you give it an opportunity, we're not a shill for Marvel at all, but go get Marvel Unlimited and check out the Iron Heart series. It starts off with Invincible Iron Man Volume 5 or 6.
Yeah.
And then it goes into the full-on Ironheart series, which was really, really good. And of course, she was in Champions too. So
this is basically the series after Civil War 2. Just think that. Basically the series after Civil War 2. You could definitely thank Captain Marvel for the reason why Tony was in a coma. So
fuck you, Carol Danvers.
Fucking fascist.
Anyways, so Deadpool and Wolverine coming to a cinema near you in September of 2024. Cannot wait for that. It's going to be epic. I thought it was like just another Ryan Reynolds tease, but then when I saw this logo that's behind us come up with the Marvel Studios logo, and it looked pretty damn authentic. I just sat there and like, this is happening. They've made fun of each other. Deadpool referenced the MCU so many times for 2 movies.
Yeah.
And I'm just sat there in shock going, holy fuck. Like when they say Kevin Feige at the end of the second teaser, I'm like, it's happening. You
Yeah.
know, Ryan Reynolds is getting to make a Deadpool movie under the um, the umbrella
MCU
of
brand.
the Marvel Studios, and so is Hugh Jackman in the form of Wolverine and not some other character. So uh, I just I had to kind of like pinch myself a little bit. So really
Man.
super excited about that. I do have to check out that Last of Us trailer, by the way. I see it on our little itinerary. So yeah, really look forward to that. As Jared mentioned, real quick, go back. Production is expected to go. Movie is supposed to expected to go into production. That's Deadpool 3 sometime next year.
Yep.
Also expected to go into production sometime late next year will be Blade with Mahershala Ali as soon as they find their new director. The
Yeah.
Fantastic Four also expected to go into production at some point in a late 2023
2024.
because they have a late 2024 release.
That's right.
We do have, don't forget, guys, we do have a shit ton of stuff coming out
Yeah.
between now and the end of the year. We have Werewolf by Night coming out in a week.
Yep.
We have Tales of a Jedi coming out later on this month.
Yep.
We have, I believe we get the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special in December, and then we get Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania sometime early next year. By the way,
Yeah.
speaking of Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, the trailer footage from D23 has a cleaner version of it has leaked online. It was all over Twitter this afternoon. All I can say is, that King Dynasty is gonna be brutal.
Like I hope so, man. Like,
Oh my god, he is.
there's levels to this.
JR mentioned before that
There's levels to this, man.
there's 3 villains in just true core villains in the Marvel universe. Doctor Doom is numero uno. Just pure evil.
Yep.
Then you have Thanos, the Mad Titan,
Yeah.
and then
He's-
you have King the Conqueror, and there are different levels of sinisterness between the 3 of them.
Yeah. I will say this though to kind of push back on Doom. He's evil for all the right reasons.
Yeah, but they all are too, except for Kang. Well, even Kang kind of.
Kang went crazy with power. Forget which iteration of him went crazy with power, but yeah, Kang, he's gonna.
Let's just put it this way: in the footage,
Yeah.
Scott Lang goes, "I'm an Avenger," and the guy, I can't think of his name now. The actor who plays Kang,
Jonathan
Majors, who is not the quirky guy that we met in Loki. The he who remains. This is not He Who Remains. This is the ruthless, sinister, diabolical Kang the Conqueror.
Yeah.
And he just looks straight at Scott Lang and says, "An Avenger. Haven't I killed you before?" Sorry. They all kind of blur together. I go, oh, and I can't do it justice. It's just like bone chilling, ruthless.
I mean,
and I'm just like,
yeah,
oh shit.
They're gonna need some big guns to go after Kang. They're gonna at least baseline need Fantastic Four. And Fantastic Four.
The problem is we will see. That's the thing. Maybe we get the Fantastic Four. We get the Fantastic Four before, or do we get it after Kang Dynasty?
I think after. But that's I think before because that's the crazy thing that people aren't recognizing with like just power scaling when it comes to Marvel. I'm the nerd on this stuff here. It's like by no consecutive means should there was no possible fucking way that the Avengers on board right now, right, would have been able to defeat Thanos with his Infinity Gauntlet. No possible way without at least like 2 of these major hitters. Adam Warlock, and who else was a big player in Infinity Gauntlet? the
Okay,
original comic book show.
real quick, I was mistaken. I thought Avengers King Dynasty comes before. That's actually 2025.
Right, that's
November
right.
8th, 2024 is Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Right now, the tentative release date for King Dynasty is where'd it go? I just had it. May 2025.
Yeah.
And
Like,
then Secret Wars
is 2020 is like end of 2025 or like
yeah,
2026, I think.
it's the end of November 2025
Okay, yeah.
So
like,
so Fantastic Four will come out prior
yeah.
to, and for those of you looking for the mutants, I would not expect mutants until 2026.
Yeah, like,
Or maybe
or possibly 2025. It's just one of those things. But like going back to like knowing how to like deal with that type of a like fighter or that type of like powerhouse, man. Like, in order to combat against a against a Kang the Conqueror, you need Reed Richards. Period. You need Reed Richards because the like no amount of fucking power that right now that MCU has, even with Scarlet, is going to be able to contain Kang. Like, Kang can go back in time or has already gone back in time. If you put the strongest Avenger right now, which is Scarlet Witch, by herself against Kang, right now, it wouldn't be a match. Kang would have went back like when she was a child and let her die with her parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what would have happened. You're talking about Reed Richards' level of like intelligence, and even though they showed Reed Richards in Multiverse of Madness, that Reed Richards was possibly the stupidest and idiotic Reed Richards that's ever been known to exist. And I love John Krasinski.
And
I
I
love
think
him to death.
I really think he's gonna be the one coming back.
Fucking better. He really should be better at that. But like, yeah, baseline you need John Krasinski. No, baseline you need Reed Richards, and then you need at least the Council of Reeds to come up because like that's what you need in order to combat against Kang the Conqueror, who can literally destroy universes pretty easily. So yeah, the power scaling level is insane. You're not gonna Captain Marvel ain't gonna do shit unless she goes binary. Uh, you need someone on a scale of like possibly Galactus to help combat against Kang. So yeah, or at least a oh, we even fucking talk about this, a Herald of Galactus to come and compete against Kang. So you might need Silver Surfer, Beta Ray Bill. You need a bunch of other heralds possibly to fight against Kang.
Which I think we're gonna get a Beta Ray Bill when they announce the Hulk movies, which will be sometime next year. And I know people were like, "Well, why did we get a Hulk movie announcement?" Because the rights haven't
been over yet. That's the reason why.
We talked about that a couple weeks ago. For those who don't know, Universal has basically
held hostage the Hulk.
Well, no, they just don't know what to do, and they're content with just getting a no-show producer credit by allowing Marvel to utilize Hulk and Bruce Banner and related characters to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, because let Marvel do all the work, and then you just give us our no-show payment for the rights fees, and call it a day. Well, now they're just going like, we don't know what to do with a standalone Hulk movie, so they're doing the right thing. They're doing what Fox should have done years before it came to a hostile takeover, and that is, we don't know what we're doing. Here's the Fantastic Four. Here's the X-Men. Here's Deadpool. Well, Deadpool, they knew what they were doing because they let Ryan Reynolds do it. But nonetheless, so yeah, that's about it on the Marvel standpoint that I've got.
Going back actually to some couple points too, you also hear, and also because like I want to put into that Marvel has also been trying to make more video games now as well, right?
Yes.
And so they're trying to incorporate a lot more Marvel hero video games. Not only that too, but on the Star Wars side, there has been a notion of wanting at least 2 Star Wars games every year now, at least 2 titles. That's gonna be interesting because we don't know what level of games they're gonna come out. I don't want as much as hate as I have for EA right now, right, with all their fucking horrible practices and shit, like the developer behind behind a Fallen Order 1 and 2, which has already been announced, it is, yeah, like just give them whatever the hell they need to do. I think Amy Hennig, who was an OG director for the Uncharted series, as well as like a bunch of other great studios, she's gonna be doing her own Star Wars movie again, a Star Wars game again, I think, if I'm correctly, or they took her off for one. I forgot what. I think she's back doing something else, but like they want to do more Star Wars games, so that's gonna be good. I honestly at this kind of point, I was kind of hoping that just have a deal with Sony and just have them do Marvel games, or even fucking Star Wars games too, because that shit would be fire. Like, just give it to a studio that knows how to do this stuff, right? So the Sony PlayStation studios, they know how to do this stuff, or just try to buy the studio that did the EA Star Wars game. Just try to see if you could buy EA a section of EA where you just buy them off and just do that, because that'd be great too.
Yeah. Well, I do know that with there's kind of seen with the Star Wars games, especially with Fallen Order. I mean, I know that EA did that game and they kind of got a surprise home run there on that one.
Yeah.
That there's talk about doing games, Marvel that is, and having it be canon. And when I say that is, Fallen Order is canon.
I mean, there is something that I found out too in episode 4 of Andor that came up that I want to say, but I can't say.
I've already watched it. I've watched episode 4.
Are you okay? So
hold on. There we go. We got to get it right. There you go.
The Jedi armor that Andor finds came from an EA video game. Came from Starkiller, who was in No, not Battlefront 2. He was in Unleashed, Star Wars Jedi, Star Wars Unleashed. So like that was the game where like you can like pull down ships and shit, and you can move stuff around, all like just basically the Force unadulterated, right, to a certain extent. And so
kind of like how Darth Vader was in Obi-Wan.
Yeah, and so like that Starkiller was. There's 2 versions of it. There was the original person who was Starkiller. I forgot his name. He died.
Yeah,
fighting up against Darth Vader, and he was his Padawan. And then Starkiller was a clone of him, and he was Darth Vader's Padawan, or Darth Vader's apprentice. And so and then Starkiller fought off against Darth Vader. In the video games, it's a bit different. So we'll see how that goes. But then hey, Unleashed is canon. So cool, because Andor finds his armor.
Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
Star Wars: Force Unleashed. So, yeah,
is it a good game?
I mean, here's the thing: LucasArts made that game. It felt really good. I will say it will feel dated for its time, man. But like just the stuff like physics, if you play the game, you're gonna look and go, oh. So this is Fallen Order, but like the predecessors of Fallen Order, and what Fallen Order is the game what that should have been, except for all the crazy power.
Gotcha. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, because the person you play, Starkiller, is like this crazy untapped, like on the same tier of Darth Vader type of like Jedi Force powers type of stuff. Was someone on the same tier. So yeah. That's what LucasArts, the video game company, wanted to do. Just show like, hey, you can take down this battle cruiser and just take it back to whatever you're from. Oh, you can just catch TIE fighters in the midair and just crush them. Like that's what they wanted to show off. It just basically what LucasArts wanted to do was basically just show off their game engine and kind of like just try to sell it to other companies and stuff. That's what it felt like to me. But overall, it was a fun time.
Let us know in the comments below what you think of all of this, and what do you think of Marvel wanting to put out 1 or 2 video games. Same with Star Wars, wanting to put 1 or 2 video games out a year. I know that Marvel just announced, I think right around D23, they announced a new video game going to be coming out in the next couple of years. I can't remember who the developer was. Guardians of the Galaxy apparently is doing a really good job. I haven't played it yet. A buddy of mine's, another one of my buddies, is playing
That's
it.
the best Marvel game out.
It's probably one, yeah, best thing. I know that Midnight Suns has seen a delay.
Yep.
In that release, so I am curious to play that one. I actually enjoyed Avengers. It wasn't great. It had its moments. It's not. It's of course in the same vein of Spider-Man and Fallen Order and the kind of that first person or no,
third
not first
person.
person. It's more third person.
Yeah.
But Fallen Order is by Fallen Order is up there. I still say the original Sony Spider-Man from 2018.
Oh yeah.
That
2018?
It was actually, I got it at the end of 18.
Oh no, yeah, you're talking about Sony PlayStation. Oh, the full on
Sony Spider-Man, the Sony PlayStation
Okay.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Miles Morales came out in 19
Last year? No. It came out.
No, it was last year. You're right. It was 20.
Yeah.
It was
20. No,
it
it came out
because it was supposed to come out and it got delayed.
It was it was 2020.
Was it 2020?
Because it was the release of PlayStation 5. And like it was the release of PlayStation 5
It was like the marquee game for the PS5.
Yeah. And so it came out that December.
Real quick, kind of wrap things up. GTA 6 is apparently in production. Worst kept secret in the world because Rockstar gets hacked and they leaked the game.
Oh, the what's it? It's supposedly a like in their teens hacker hacked Rockstar and released like 50 minutes of footage, and like people were roasting the hell out of that game. Like, oh, it looks horrible. Like, bro, it's like pre footage.
It's like them
really rough
sketching the early part. It's like someone releasing the early sketches of like a comic book run, like the early sketches of like the Infinity Gauntlet or Infinity War or Days of Future Past, and going, what the hell is this garbage? I'm like, dude, they're freaking sketches.
Yeah, but not only that, the crazy thing of it too is like there's the same person, the same hacker who hacked, I think, Uber or Lyft too. And and what was crazy was the response from Take-Two Interactive, the people who own the GTA franchise. They call the FBI and they found the person.
Yeah,
so they
don't mess around with that shit anymore.
That's kind of crazy, dude. Like, no, we're gonna call the FBI and we're gonna find your ass, bro. We're gonna find who you are. Like,
because that could cost them millions of dollars because people don't know how to judge. Don't know how to judge that shit.
But not only that, but like you're talking about like, yo, you hacked one of the like out of all the companies in the world that was hardest to hack. Take-Two Interactive for Grand Theft Auto was one of the hardest.
Yeah, because they want to keep that shit close to their chest.
They hacked Apple, they hacked Sony, they hacked Microsoft. Microsoft also got hacked too in the last couple of years, right? And the hardest one to hack was fucking Take-Two Interactive, bro. And so that's kind of wild. It's kind of wild, my guy. Kind of wild. Like,
I'm looking forward to it. I've always been a big fan of the GTA franchise. I wasted hours and hours and hours and hours of my life playing Grand Theft Auto 3.
I don't think we got that time anymore, bro.
No, I don't. I mean, I think I re-aggravated my neck and my shoulder injury because I just sat on this couch right here behind me and vegged out playing Fallen Order for about 3 or 4 hours. And you can't do anymore. You can't be in that reclined position anymore and be healthy. So I'm going back. As a matter of fact, reason why we're going to wrap things up here in a second is I got to be up at the gym 5 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Nice. I got to get my ass back to the gym. I played in a golf tournament for 4 days last week. I wrecked my back, dude.
What's your gym at, dude? What's your gym?
EOS of Palm Desert.
Ah, damn it. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So my dad and I are going to be there. I'll be out there at 5:30. My brother, of course, my brother who I usually train with is going to stay at home and watch hopefully Manchester City beat his mighty uh, Manchester United team. So go Man City. It's the first time I'll ever say that because I'm an Arsenal fan, but we're talking American football, by the way.
I don't know.
Oh, we're talking. I'm sorry, talking football.
Yeah. Football.
Real quick, also, kind of put a bow on this show. Read online that Hasbro is putting together a 30th anniversary of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Production will begin shooting later this year in New Zealand. And they're going to use that as an opportunity to launch the new Power Rangers franchise. Right now, they have announced that. Let's see, what are they? Where did my notes go? Where'd it go?
New
That
franchise?
yeah, another group, another
Oh,
new
okay.
another new Rangers group.
Gotcha.
It was announced that David Yost and Walter Jones, who played the Blue and Black Ranger respectively, will return for the 30th anniversry special.
Hey.
The gentleman who played the original Red Ranger, unfortunately, is not allowed to leave the country. He is currently being sued by the
Oh.
federal government.
Oh.
And the guy who plays the Green Ranger said he is done. He is retired
Yep.
from playing the role,
I
which I don't blame him because he's been literally playing the role for the last 30 years.
Yeah, for quite a while.
And then Amy Jo Johnson, who plays the Pink Ranger, she's like, "No, I'm not involved. I'm not doing this."
Yep.
And unfortunately, and I forgot this, that the young lady who plays Trini, the Yellow Ranger,
yeah, she passed away
died in 2001, just a week before 9/11.
Yeah, she passed away.
She passed away in a car accident in Los Angeles. Her daughter, however, her real life daughter, is going to play her daughter in the series and is actually going to be, so the rumor is she is going to be the thing that brings the group back together, the original Ranger group, or at least brings the Blue and Black Rangers back to relaunch this new Ranger group. And it could have Trini's daughter
as the yellow
leading as the leader of the new group.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool. That was announced at Hasbro Con last week. We do have New York City Comic Con, I believe, is coming this week. So we'll keep a close eye on it, have news for you next. We're going to try to do this on Saturday nights. I think it's a little bit easier unless our schedule gets in the way. But Friday nights, I'm busy doing football. Sunday nights is a little tough because I got to work on Monday. So we're going to try to do these on Saturday nights. I did get an email. People wanting to know when we're going to do the bonus shows again. I think we're going to do a wrap-up show of She-Hulk, and then we will do a wrap-up show of Andor, just because both shows were a little bit longer than usual. So we'll just do a total wrap-up on the entire show, and we'll readdress doing the bonus shows per episode on the next go-round. We'll also have a full review whenever JR gets around to watch, because I'm going to be first day. We'll have a full review of Werewolf by Night. People also asking, are we going to do a review on Thor: Love and Thunder? We've kind of already talked about it, kind of in passing. So I don't think there will be a full formal review on it.
We
We
talk
always
about
kind of
We could talk about a reference. I would love to talk about the other shows outside the MCU and DC, like Rings of Power.
Yes, I do. I gotta play a catch up on Rings of Power. I just watched the first episode. House of Dragons, I'm not watching, so I may set it up for JR to just do House of Dragons. I've never finished Game of Thrones. I got about halfway through. I think I got halfway through season 5. Was there 7 seasons?
It was 8 seasons, and
8 seasons.
If you want to talk about reasons why to never have a monarch rule people.
All I know is I have said this before, and I'll say it again. I have a list of some of the worst characters, and I say this not like they were acted bad or they were poorly written. These are just asshole characters. They're like, I hate the character.
Yeah,
but I hate the character because
for the
right
their
reason.
Actions. Yeah, of course.
In my list, people are going to go like, "What?" Okay, top of the list is King Joffrey.
I mean, well, yeah, obviously.
King Joffrey could be the single biggest asshole in television history.
Okay, you're season 5. Okay, so never mind.
Oh, I know about a bunch of other characters and whatnot. My God, was Joffrey a dick?
I mean, yeah, no,
Now,
absolutely. He was
I will also
horrendous
go as far
individual.
as I'm going to put him on the same level.
Okay.
Is I cannot stand Ross Geller from Friends.
Okay.
That would be what's his name's character? We were
Yeah.
on a break.
Yeah.
I can't think
Yeah.
of David Schwimmer. David Schwimmer's
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
Also, I love How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Absolutely one of my favorite shows of all time. Ted Mosby, right there with him. I cannot stand him. And really close is Sheldon Cooper from Big Bang Theory. But everyone's like, I love Sheldon. He's a dick. But I get the whole, he could be autistic. He could be this. Anyways, but no, King Joffrey's it's here, and then maybe everybody else down here.
Yeah.
But I do know my wife tells me all the time about there's a couple other characters in the Game of Thrones that are just as big of assholes as King Joffrey was.
No, it's like asshole list for me. I mean, people are gonna hate me for saying it, but Daenerys is up there.
Daenerys.
Daenerys is up. Like I can't.
I do know that towards the end of the show she gets bad.
I can't stand monarchs. I just can't. I can't, like, this whole holier than thou. Like, I deserve to be rule over these people because I can be kind. I can be this, but like, you fucking, spoiler alert, you fucking burn down a whole city with your dragon. It's like, and so, like, for me, it's this constant renewal, re-understanding of, like, this is why we're not a fucking monarch here in America.
Yeah,
this is why monarchies are gone throughout the world majority of the time. This is why, oh, hot take, I didn't care for the queen's death. Type of stuff. And so it's like, yeah, people were like, yes, queening, Daenerys. I'm like, hey, you gonna find out. You're gonna find out like the true. You're gonna find out why she feels like she's better than everyone and deserves the right heir. Just like,
yeah,
stop it. So Daenerys is definitely up there. She's not number 1, but she's up there. She's definitely up there. Joffrey is up there as well. Biggest assholes, villains, or whatever. Still Doom. Doom makes Daenerys and all of them look fucking nothing.
That's not real quick too. There was a lot of that was announced in regards to the park at Disney parks. Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, and Grogu will be debuting in Galaxy's Edge only at Disneyland. Avengers Campus, which is at Disney's California Adventure, will feature basically a full-size Hulk in his quantum suit from Infinity War. They are working on an actual Hulk suit, but that was the best they could do right now. The other thing too, we talk about other shows. Yes, do want to talk about other shows. I would love to kick around and talk about talk about Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy from HBO Max. I would love to talk about. We never got a chance to talk about Peacemaker. Peacemaker has officially been renewed for season 2. And I know there's a bunch of other stuff that's in the works. That's still in the works. Yeah. Oddly enough, with DC and Warner Brothers. But I do want to talk about too is Yellowstone. Yellowstone finally gets announced season 5, November 12th. Their spinoff show 1923 is expected to be released sometime in December, possibly. But the trailer for Yellowstone season 5 looks freaking nuts. And as they always say, hell hath no fury like Beth Dutton scorned. That show is amazing, and Beth Dutton could be one of the best characters in television. I will say this real quick to wrap things up. And I don't know why my name's still on the screen.
Your DC thing brought up, like,
I know. I didn't want to trigger you.
Sorry, yeah, but like you know the reasons why Ezra Miller had his little spiff and what he said about that. It's been rumored to say why he had this complex out because he believes himself to be the actual fucking Flash.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Like he saw he had this like
Oh,
Messiah complex. There's
no.
a report out there right now saying that the reason why he was like this is because him doing the Flash movie made him feel like Jesus. I'm like, you can't make this shit up. Or maybe you can, and maybe this is just press around it. Because we know another actress, director who would put up this type of shit for press for their movie.
Wow. Ezra Miller has taken this to an all-time low.
Oh, bro, I know. I like they've had an interview with him supposedly, and that there's reports saying that the reason why he was like that was because he feels like he can bridge
He
people
really
together.
is the Flash.
He referenced Jesus, or it was referenced, or Jesus was referenced in this article. Don't know if he referenced him, but in the article that I read that Jesus was referenced, and that he felt like he had a Messiah complex. I will give him the benefit of the doubt. I will give him maybe it's just press to drum up for a movie.
I want to see the movie. I want to see
too.
Flash. I want to see the Flash. It looks like it's going to be a badass movie, and I would hate for Michael Keaton to come out of retirement of playing Batman, and then all this bullshit happens.
I would hate.
By the way, saw the costume for Batgirl. Fuck,
bro!
That costume was sick,
bro. No, what pissed me off even more is Brendan Fraser, right? Brendan Fraser was gonna be in the movie.
That's right. He was supposed to be the bad guy, wasn't he?
Firefly, I think his name was, right? And during the Cannes Film Festival, because I'm trying to wrap this around the other movie I was talking about, the director, he was given a standing ovation for
the whale or something like that.
Yeah, for the whale, right? And more fucking power to him, man. More fucking power to him. Not so much power to another director, and I feel bad for another cast that was involved of a certain certain movie that was filmed here in Palm Springs.
That movie is tanking,
bro. When you told me about the possibility, or when rumors have been told about the possibility of why of that whole little spiff of
with between Olivia Wilde and
her
Jason Sudeikis,
with her ex-husband, and that she was given the divorce papers during the filming, like that was like when I initially saw that, I'm like, oh man, that fucking sucks for her. That was a horrible thing. And now there's possible rumors like, oh, she did it for fucking publicity. Holy shit, dude! Does Hollywood not have any sense of like morals now?
So for those who don't know what Jared's talking about is, there's a movie called OK Darling, or what's it called?
We're gonna be fine. Whatever, yeah, something
like that. Who gives a shit?
Florence Pugh's in it. She's awesome though. Florence Pugh's fucking awesome.
Lawrence Pugh is in it. Harry Styles is in it, and Chris Pine.
Chris Pine's in it. Gemma Chan as well. Gemma Chan.
And it's filmed here in Palm Springs. It's a period piece. Takes place, I think, during like the 1950s, 1960s.
Yeah.
And I don't know what exactly it's about. However, they presented the either the trailer or a sneak peek. I think it's definitely the trailer and maybe a sneak peek at CinemaCon back in the springtime. And the guy who owns the Mary Pickford told me about this. He's the first one that brought it up to me. So he's there in person at CinemaCon. Olivia Wilde, who's the director. By the way, Olivia Wilde is married to Jason Sudeikis.
Yes, it is.
Has a kid.
Yeah.
And then starts making this movie.
Yep.
And then starts banging Harry Styles.
Mm-hmm. Wait. Before that, because Harry Styles came in to replace Shia LaBeouf, who was the lead, that's
right.
Yeah. And so that change was rather sudden.
Yes, and the rumor going around was that Shia LaBeouf didn't want to be involved with this movie because there was a lot of negativity around the movie, and he didn't want to go down because he's really kind of changed his. He's really
Mellow.
kind of cleaned up his act.
Yeah.
And the other rumor is that Olivia Wilde was trying to get in his pants. So then Harry Styles comes in and she shoots, she scores. It leads to the divorce. They say it didn't, but it leads to the divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And while they're promoting this movie at CinemaCon, allegedly she's handed documents, is seen getting emotional at this presentation. And it was later announced that she says, I was served divorce papers at this event, and that it was handed to her by a special courier. Well, when I talked to the guy who owns the Mary Pickford Theaters, he goes, yes, someone did hand Olivia Wilde in the middle of the presentation these papers. First off, a courier could never get that close, especially during the pandemic. Because remember, this is still COVID still going on. People got to wear masks and have COVID-19.
Yep.
But no one in their right mind could break through security, get into a convention, and hand someone divorce papers. I'm sorry, that will never hold up in court. So some people go like, well, Jason Sudeikis knows people. He could have done. I'm sorry. No. So the story that I heard from Inside CinemaCon was that the person, though they cannot confirm, was definitely a part of Olivia Wilde's inner circle and was seen with Olivia Wilde throughout the day at the convention. People are now saying that it was her publicist that handed the paperwork and was this courier. It's, oh my gosh, it's such bullshit. And Sudeikis came out and said, I would have never done that. Da, 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 da. Yes, I did send her papers, and she even said, I sent it to her manager. I didn't send it to her house. I didn't send it, I was, because he's in England working on Ted Lasso season 3.
Mm-hmm.
And so he had to send it via courier.
Not only that, but guess who Jason Sudeikis' good friend is? Florence Pugh. And so she had a huge spiff about all they've had. Like, it's crazy the amount of stuff involved in this one film, right? And like how we got featured at the Canes, right? And just all the memes that came from it too, from the Canes. So Florence had a somewhat supposedly falling out with her, with the aforementioned Olivia Wilde. Even though supposedly now it's been kind of like, I guess, it's like, no, we're fine, but it's Hollywood talk, blah blah blah. They're Chris Pine. God, I love this man. Chris Pine, Gemma Chan, the other people involved in the film were trying their best during the Cannes film festival to kind of separate people. And if you've seen the memes of like Chris Pine just like of like not wanting to be there, or like his life is like, why am I here type of stuff, that's from that specific reason. There was a clip, right, of a possibility of Harry Styles spitting on Chris Pine when he's taking a seat. And then Chris Pine, like, he's trying to like reacting to that. Yeah, dude, the amount of like drama throughout this whole freaking thing is wild. The Chris Pine character, the character that Chris Pine was playing was supposedly based off of Jordan Peterson, right? Yeah, Jordan Peterson, the psychologist, which I feel like is fucking bullshit, honestly, to do all that shit. But like, it's just wild the amount of like irony involved of trying to say that, oh, these people are fucking toxic, but then things come out. Shia LaBeouf is toxic person to work with. He's too blah blah blah. Shia LaBeouf comes out with evidence, or with like voice messages saying that no, she wanted me to stay there. It was all Florence's fault. And then Florence having basically like throw like all these little snide like shade type of stuff towards Olivia and everyone else in the cast except for Chris Pine, Gemma Chan, and the other person involved. It's just wild. It is just, the whole thing was fucking wild to see this whole thing blow up in her face, and now the movie just critically panned because it's
not doing.
it is critically panned, and by having this weird thing of like, oh yeah, men are horrible. You know, this Stepford Wives 1950s realization of men being toxic is horrible. All the while, the person helming the film, the director, is doing all this toxic shit. That's, to me, the irony is baffling. It's quite baffling, and yeah, and it sucks because I was a huge fan of Olivia Wilde.
Yeah, so
Like,
was I.
oh, dude, I loved her in House. I loved her in Tron. I loved her in her small bit scene in in that one movie with the Joker. For the actor who played the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix, and Scarlett Johansson, where she played an AI. I loved her in that as well. Um,
Well, wasn't she? She got her start. Wasn't she on G4, or was that someone else?
that was Olivia Munn. That was
Olivia
Olivia
Munn.
Munn.
Okay,
Yeah.
and Olivia Munn is the one that dated Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, for quite a while, and I think she's Psylocke. Dude, she came
Oh
up
yeah,
too,
that's right.
man.
She's Psylocke. She's
She's
Psylocke.
Psylocke. She's Asian. So, yeah,
I
Olivia
like
Munn.
I like her better. Olivia Wilde. Fuck off.
I'm not gonna say anything I'm not gonna say anything negative towards Olivia Wilde because yeah, it just sucks. It really does. It sucks. Like,
It's really unfortunate because this was her directorial debut, and it had a lot of pub. It had a great cast. It shot here in Palm Springs.
hey
And
man, like, to reference the original part of what we said before about all this stuff with, like, people cheating. We have a possible allegation of a woman now cheating on her husband, and so all that stuff to drum up some weird force of like publication. It's just, people are fucking weird.
yes,
People are
absolutely.
fucking weird, dude.
Absolutely. And I've had people offer me or come up to me, family members and other people offer me, hey, why don't you put your daughter in movies or commercials or whatever? Go take. No,
no,
not in a
no.
million years. Not for $45 billion. No. Everyone's like, oh, you would do it. If someone came offer you $45 billion, you wouldn't. No. My daughter's safety, my daughter's sanity, my daughter's morality is not worth it.
100%.
Well, that's life-changing money.
Yeah, 100%.
So is the emotional and mental abuse that she could possibly take.
Shout out to Jeanette McCurdy, who just came out with her book in the last couple of months now. Oh, she came out with a book. She's an old school
she
child
was from
star.
She was all Disney Channel.
iCarly, right? And she came out with a book called I'm Glad My Mom Died just recently. And it just basically it tells the tale of like how she grew, how she grew up with a parent who wanted to push her to be a child star. And so, yeah, man. But shout out to Janet McCurdy, man. I've seen a couple interviews. I want to read her book. It's been selling out. It's been selling out everywhere. And yeah, that's Hollywood is fucking weird.
Fucked up. It's fucked up.
Fucking weird, dude. Like, it's still fucked up. And like at this point, man, it's like, I don't know. It's just fucking weird, bro. Hollywood is so weird, dude. But yeah.
All right, guys. Well, we'll wrap it up. If you want more information about JR's eBay sales, head over to his Instagram page, JR Comic, also not JR Comics 42. Link is there in the bio. All kinds of cool stuff. By the way, I'll throw it up next week because it's upstairs. I don't want to go get it. I do have a flex pull. I finally got my CGC back, and I was going to bitch about it this week, but I want to bitch about it next week.
Yeah. We'll do more comic related next week.
Yeah. So, yeah, about that. I did get my Amazing Spider-Man number 129 back, and all parties involved are not happy, including Chick and Javelle from Comic Asylum. Shout out to them.
Yeah.
He is JR Comic Coogan, aka also not JR Comics 42 on Instagram. Check out his eBay page. I'm Kevin Pillow at Voice of Reason 23. Hit me up on all social media platforms. Be streaming on Twitch. If you're not watching right now on Twitch, hit us up at PS Comics I Love You on Twitch. Also at True Voice of Reason 23 on Twitch. We'll be doing hopefully doing some Jedi Fallen Order maybe tomorrow, maybe
Yep.
next weekend. And
Yeah.
then
I'll probably play some Cyberpunk as well.
yeah.
On it
So
too.
be on the lookout for JR, and of course, hit us up both on social media on Instagram, and find us right there on the bottom there at PS Comics I Love You on Instagram. We'll usually post stuff there when we're going to go
Yo.
live on Twitch.
Yo.
You can download our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, Anchor.fm, and iHeartRadio. You can also watch us every single week live. Just subscribe or like our pages on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Hit the little bell for notifications, and we will give you updates when we post the scheduled event. So not only do you find out when we post a new video, but you will find out when we schedule a live show on YouTube. Head over to Twitch, twitch.tv/PS Comics I Love You or /True Voice of Reason 23. And also you can find us on Facebook Watch. Like us on Facebook and Twitter. We're streaming live. So yeah, next Saturday we'll be back. We can't record Sunday. I'm going to be out of town. I have a wedding I'm supposed to go to. But we're not going to drive up until Sunday morning because it's just not going to be fun trying to get a hotel room down there. So so I should be available next Saturday. Thank you guys so much for staying up with us. We will have a full review in about 2 weeks on She-Hulk. We got episodes 8 and 9 coming up. And of course, we'll have Werewolf by Night next week if JR sees it. So
yeah, I'm definitely going to see that one. So yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right, dude. Have a good night. We'll see you later. Please be kind human beings. Don't be an Olivia Wilde. Don't make up shit for good for us.
I had a huge crush on Olivia Wilde for a long time, man. But like, one thing about life that just constantly reveals itself is like the more you see people, the more you recognize their flaws, man. And that was a huge red flag. But
yeah,
hey, man,
crazy.
Hey,
all right, guys.
More power to her. Whatever, just don't make movies and don't be in front of people. Just don't, man. Just she's a mother, she's a person, but like, that's
I was thinking about too. We're gonna throw this out there, throw some karma out there. By the way, I want to give a shout out. Drew Yeager, Drew Super Art, gonna be doing a drink and draw. I want to have him on. Maybe we can have him on before Halloween. He's gonna be doing a Halloween theme drink and draw. Check out Comic Asylum Palm Desert on all social media platforms for more information about his drink and draw event coming up. So I just thought about it. I looked over and I know that I saw his soccer team's playing, and like I got to give a shout out to Andrew. So
the Galaxy's playing?
No, he's at LA. Is he Galaxy or LAFC?
No, he's Galaxy. He hates LAFC.
Oh well, Galaxy. Yes, the Galaxy are playing right now. They're playing Real Salt Lake. So and of course my Dodgers are playing. And Arizona State and USC are playing right now, so go Trojans.
What'd you feel about the Blackhawks winning?
Oh yeah, big thing. La Quinta beating Palm Desert last night. A little local football action, ending a 5-game winning streak for the Aztecs. It's a huge rivalry game out here in the Coachella Valley. In the middle of the season too, by the way. This is the first time they've played at mid-season ever.
Hey, remember when Palm Springs football was good? I do.
I'm telling you, Palm Springs is going to be. They might actually battle it out this year. They're pretty decent.
They're decent, man.
Like they have a COVID tie. But we'll see what happens. Yeah. Oh, by the way, don't forget check out Prep Sports Net. I host a halftime show and a post game show for high school sports here in the Coachella Valley. You can check us out over there. Actually, I'll give it a little. Where do I got it? Where's it? Here you go. Right there. Prep Sports Net on Twitter. So there you go.
We're definitely also trying to get more like live, like he and I actually in a room together. To do a show. I've also been trying to save some money aside to buy some stuff, some studio stuff. So that has been a definite thing.
Yeah,
it's expensive. It's expensive.
So. And I know that I'm in conversation with some of the conventions here locally. I think our goal is to be at a con. I think they didn't have it this year, but I think Comic-Con Revolution in Ontario is going to bring back. They're going to bring back. I'm trying to figure out the way I like this. I've been testing a bunch of different layouts. There is talk of them bringing back their podcast room next year. They didn't have it this year, I don't think. So we're going to try to get into Comic-Con Revolution and maybe even into Amazing Con next year, which is in Vegas.
Yep.
And I know that there's a possibility that Comic-Con Palm Springs might come back next year. So
which is we know the owner to that. Well, we know we've said hello. We've exchanged
I
pleasantries.
know.
So yeah, so we definitely want to talk to him about possibly getting Jim Lee back. So
that would be nice.
That'd be great.
All right, guys, have a great night, and we will see you next week. And let me hit the button. Yeah, say there we go. Have a good night and broadcast.
Peace.
Peace. Wait, forgot. I got hit, but I hit the